There's a question while you're waiting.
Okay. We're good. All right. So let's get Marie Oldham is next. She has a short presentation about the amazing things that they've done at their school. By the way, one of the things we're going to send you is that John has created a list of things you can do eco-friendly, from plates and cups and everything. And then he has suppliers. So it'll be 2 documents. One, all the items you can use, and another is the suppliers. So we'll be emailing that to you. Okay, we've been actually blessed tonight with media. It's worked for the most part. Anne-Marie, tell us about a Green Ribbon School and how you become one.
Okay, so first thing, I'd like to introduce a couple people that have supported our program. We have 2 principals or 1 principal over there.
Mine just stepped out.
Kathy Dunn over here and Christine Lang. So you really do need the support from the top. And then I think I have my head of ecology and safety. Come on up here, Julia. This is our student head of ecology and safety right here. And so we have a student team. And we can model, last year we got the Green Ribbon Award from the state. We're the first Catholic school in Southern California. And the Walton family and who is it, Aunt who? There's an aunt who's a graphic designer who helped design these shirts. Turn around, and the green team came up with these sayings here. We have act like you live here, spread peace, vote earth, give bees a chance, we talk trash. They were very proud of that one. Good planets are hard to find, reduce, refuse, reuse, recycle, and give a hoot, don't pollute. So we designed these shirts to celebrate the Green Ribbon Award. And the award is one of the few opportunities that the state will offer to private schools. And I thought, in order to try to build a community around sustainability and lowering our carbon footprint, if we got an award, I thought that might inspire people. And this Green Ribbon Award involves a 36-page application. And a lot of it, though, is just compiling stuff that we already do in our communities. So it's more, many of the things I'm going to show you, I didn't really do these things, I just compiled them. And then some projects I did start. You can sit down, sweetie. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to change my, you're going to shake them? Okay. All right, so go ahead. I only have 90 slides. Okay, so I want to tell you, this is my background. I have a BA in Biological Sciences, vocal music minor. I have a law degree, practiced law for 20 years, and now I'm a performing arts teacher. And then, as I said earlier, I asked to be appointed sustainability director because I thought then I would have some power to make things happen. And I do recommend that you, if you're interested, somebody be appointed. This is pretty much a volunteer position, but it gives you a way to speak to people, and then they think you mean something, even if you don't. But, next slide. What I really am is a mother of a child who is medically complex and chronically disabled, and right there, she's had probably 30 surgeries, and this particular surgery, Steve Breen, who is the Pulitzer Prize winning cartoonist for the San Diego Union, who is a parishioner at our church, he actually cut every one of those flowers out. Hundreds of people wanted to come to the hospital, and we had to say, she couldn't, she was too ill, and so instead, those are prayers. And if you have any illness, the toxins in the environment, the heat, the excessive heat, if you're older, if you have MS, you are much more impacted. Those things make you sicker than they make a normal person. I am haunted by, in the past weeks, the wildfires in Northern California, and the story of a 20-year-old with spina bifida who couldn't outrun the fire, and she died in her wheelchair, and that could be my daughter because she is in a wheelchair. And so it's being a mother and worrying about my children that is what motivates me. As I have a friend who's also here, Masada, who said, oh, you're so militant because you're a lawyer. And it's like, no, I'm militant because I'm a mother bear, and I want my kids to have something, and I want to have grandkids who are safe. And I'm at the point where I feel like we need to be yelling fire. It's time for us to get upset because all of us are endangered. So now onto the positive stuff. So here's what we did. This is one of our teachers and our garden. We'll try to go quickly. Go ahead. Obviously inspired by the Pope, I could come out in my tree-hugging glory with Laudato Si. Keep going. And first I consulted with the city of Encinitas, the school district has an award-winning, they're already a green ribbon school at the federal level. And that's my green team from last year. In fact, over here is our last year's head of ecology, who is the older sister of Julia. Continuing. So obviously, in the green ribbon application, there's 3 areas. You have your facility issues, you have health and wellness, and you have environmental education. So I'll talk to you a little bit about some of the facilities things that we've done. Go ahead. This is a parent who spearheaded putting in LED lights throughout the school, and as I understand it, we actually ended up making money on this project. We had volunteer parents install them all. With the rebates, we made money. So continuing on, we of course recycled everything. We had this is a prayer garden in the church. One of our parishioners had an inheritance, and she just hated this messy water drinking garden. And one of our other parishioners, a landscape architect, and he redid the garden to be beautiful and completely water and drought friendly. And also, it feels even holier now. It feels like you walked into Gethsemane with the olive trees. It's a beautiful place now. We have solar going in right now. I don't think it's operational, but is it, Kathy?
It just needs the final okay. It's all ready to go.
And that's, of course, a diocese-wide program. So my opinion is focus on your group's local resources and talents. What do they care? There's so many things that you need to do or you could do that you have to sort of chill out and see what do people want to help with. So continuing. So in our area, for example, we're right by the beach. So we've got an annual beach cleanup, and the kids are learning about the impact of the plastics and the toxins on the fish. I mean, there are some pretty dire studies out there that say we're going to be looking at a disaster by 2030 if we do not stop using plastic. Getting them outside, getting people outside. We're so disconnected from nature. So here we've done a field trip to the Elijo Lagoon and learned about that ecology and climbed up this crazy canyon. And here is a whole discussion about the plastic detox. As much as you can, you want to get it out of your life. And it's collecting in your tissues, it's in our groundwater, it's really a disaster. And it also does impact the carbon we use because basically plastic's made out of oil. Recycling, yeah, okay, this is a great thing, but it's better just not to use this stuff because most of what you recycle just doesn't actually get recycled. This is our plastics pledge to do our best to reduce recycle. And if you fill out the pledge, we put a little animal on our board. Go ahead. We are working on, you can go through these slides really quickly, monarch conservation. We're losing our monarch population. And organic gardening can involve ladybugs instead of pesticides to get rid of pests. I think I have a picture of the first butterfly that we managed to conserve. It's harder than you think because already the heat is very hard on them. And these are some of our monarch. This little girl here, she has birthday parties and she used all her birthday party money goes to some good cause. This little girl on the right. Then out of nowhere last fall, this group came and gave us $15,000 to redo our organic garden. They're a totally secular group and they wanted to promote organic gardening and eating in schools. So this was our old garden that had been abandoned, and this is some high school or junior high kids. This is what it used to look like, and I thought, well, we'll just deal with what we have, but then this is what we ended up with. So you can flip through these. And this was, again, like getting on the internet, people will find you, and blessings just come. Actually, go back one, can you? I just want to point out that my husband built that fence, and he's right there. You get a lot done by making your family do stuff. Okay, and okay, go ahead. This is all our little gardeners, and there it is. And it's last year, of course, with the rains, the garden went nuts. We didn't. We're also at our school. We have a inclusion program, and now that path went from being not accessible. It's now accessible in a wheelchair. That's the garden. So we're calling it our Peace Garden, donated by Feed the Future, which was the group. Go ahead. And so then we're using the garden to also promote healthy eating, and it's surprising that when the kids have a hand in growing and cooking, they want to eat it. So we've been amazed. In fact, the principal said we need to put the recipes in the newsletter because all the kids were asking their parents for them. Smoothies, there they go. You can keep going. There's some of my 6th graders. This is a kale and beans, organic bean soup we made. Big thing about the encyclical is hear the cry of the earth, the cry of the poor. And this is one of those things I just cataloged. We have a group called Mission Circle, and they do this amazing event every year where they package 60,000 plus meals to go to whoever is needing it. Last year, you can go to the next one, was Haiti, 77,000 meals. This year, we just finished over 60,000 going to Puerto Rico and Mexico City. So this is part of these environmental disasters, and actually, surprisingly, I just learned that earthquakes can also be affected by climate change. The change in the barometric pressure will actually contribute to climate change. And partnering with other groups, friends and family, they help us with that event, and I just learned that they have a whole safe water program. I mean, wouldn't that be a great Christmas present, is just to give $75 for some people in the world to have clean, safe water. Expand your community. I don't know if you know who that guy is. Had him come and speak, Father Emmett, to my sustainability elective. And I want to mention some people here from San Diego 350. Can Masada and Phil stand up, please? Masada has been a tireless environmental activist, and she started reaching out to the faith communities. And we now, San Diego 350 is an organization that is basically working on the climate change issues with the goal, which unfortunately we haven't met, of keeping the parts per million of carbon dioxide below 350. It's well over 400 now, and the scientists said if we keep it 350 or below, that will have, we'll be able to live through that. But over 350, the environmental damage will be irrevocable. And but anyway, so we have now an interfaith connection, very much inspired by when the Pope spoke to Congress. Next one we had with Masada, and then Phil from St. Paul's. We had an interfaith forum on climate justice. And do you recognize the guy over there on the right? There's Kent. And getting involved with the community, go ahead and keep going. There's Professor Rom, and I'm such a climate change nerd, I have his autograph. Very excited about that. Continuing. So here we are. In fact, the other thing is just drag people along with you. We went up to get the Green Ribbon Award with Kent and our principal and Father Emmett. I just made them all come up to LA with me and accept the award. Here is our Green Ribbon Award, and hopefully we're going to go this year. I'm hoping from bronze. Hopefully we're going to skip silver and go right to gold. And if anybody's interested in if your parish, or I'm sorry, your school is interested, I'm happy to consult and help with this. I'd love to see all of the Catholic schools, 44 are all involved in this. And here is celebrating our Green Ribbon Award with our kids. Future plans, we can go through quickly. These are things I'd like to do. Continuing to work on our waste stream and getting to zero waste. I'm hoping to become a MONARCH WAYSTATION, which means basically you plant a lot of milkweed. Also, I don't really see, I figure that all of our landscaping can become wildlife habitat. Why not? Working on outdoor classroom, it's a great thing. Again, we need to get our children back touching the dirt and outside so that they connect with it, because they're so removed. I asked our pastor if we could turn the church grounds into a food forest, which they're doing up in Seattle, and he said okay. So I'm going to work on that. Why not feed the homeless from your garden? Go ahead. This is something I'm not sure about yet, but I want to learn about. I have a parent who wants to teach us what's called vermiculture, which is composting using worms. Apparently it's not smelly. Another guy came out of the woodwork and said he'll install some rain barrels. In Israel, they're able to capture rain off their roofs to pretty much supply all of their potable water. And you can go on, that's, so this is our Lorax message, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's gonna get better, it's not. This is some ideas for our incorporating environmental teaching into the program at our schools. So first grade, for example, studies ocean life, so it's pretty easy to incorporate ocean conservation, for example, into our curriculum. So last year, that was our play. This is what kids do when they first see, like, you know, they touch a rotten lemon. They're like, what the heck? And somehow these got out of order. But I know I didn't get to talk to the fair trade people, but this is something I would like to incorporate into our program as well. And the climate change issue really is the elephant in the room. This is the thing we need to really be focusing on. Catholics have had a past history of denying science, and we're not doing that anymore. Keep going. We had a bunch of people there. The earth needs thinkers, not deniers. Thank you very much.
We are very, very close to the end of our program.